guys, what's up? How's it going? I hope you're having an amazing day today. For those of you who are new here, hi, I'm Julie. I talk everything from book reviews to spirituality to vlogs, really whatever strikes my fancy for the day. Great for marketing. And if you're returning, I'm glad I haven't scared you off. But what are we talking about today? Today we're going to be talking about yours truly, Elvira. It's Cassandra Peterson's memoir, and for those of you who don't know, she played rather an iconic role in the 80s of Elvira, who was like the hostess of this late night horror B-movie sort of marathon that they used to do called Movie Macabre. And essentially, she rose to prominence from basically like a local TV actress to the Queen of Halloween, I guess, is that she's now known. And it's so crazy because she's 70, still rocking this character, and she goes to Comic-Cons, goes to conventions, and has this wide variety of really devoted fans. Let me play you guys a clip just so you know what her early show was like.
Hello, darling. Yes, that's right. It's little old me, that gal with a spark, that mistress of the dark, Elvira.
Cassandra says it herself. You know, these B-list sort of like hostess or host style movie marathons that would play late at night, there was a huge lineup of people that did this, but you get the sense that Cassandra's case was special. She was not only extremely ingenious in making sure that she owned the branding to Elvira after the run was proven successful, but she also capitalized on how well-known and beloved her character really was, and through her own licensing of the Elvira character, she did multiple movies, did a brand deal with various companies, including Pepsi and Coors. Her character had the distinct possibility of just being a flash in the pan, but through her own partnerships, friendships, and her own business sort of acumen, I mean, she doesn't give herself a lot of credit for it, but she deserves it. She was really able to build herself into a well-known brand, and I gotta commend her for it, especially it being the 80s, and, you know, women were still not treated equally in the showbiz industry. They aren't now, but it was especially just blatant back then, and she tells a lot of different anecdotes about how she had to kind of fight uphill battles to get projects going off the ground. And even in those cases, some of the projects she fought tooth and nail for to get off the ground would be canceled last minute. And you get a really great sense of this woman who just bounces back from what a lot of us, I think, would consider really troubling times. The book is really funny. She's able to kind of provide quips and little, like, sort of like in hindsight, kind of make little commentaries about various things that happened in her life that shows that she has a sense of humor about things. But even with all of her skill, there was, I think, a fair bit of luck to be seen in her story. And, I mean, I would personally classify it as the universe guiding her way. From her days as a groupie, as a young girl, meeting the likes of Jimi Hendrix, to meeting Elvis Presley and having a very deep spiritual conversation with him that would guide her throughout the rest of her life. Her life is a kaleidoscope of just great things, and it's really interesting to see. One thing I want to add too is that she says that from a very early age she loved to read and would read a lot, and you can tell by the way that she writes that that is true. She has a way of describing things even all these years later. I mean, whether or not details are embellished, because no one has a memory that perfect, I can't say. But either way, like, the way that she writes is so captivating and so rich in detail, and even while managing to keep a rather lighthearted tone at times, it's just a masterclass in juggling a lot of different writing elements, if I can get in technical really quick. She describes, you know, the fear that she felt one Christmas with her family when, you know, a cat got in the house and climbed up on a Christmas tree, and And it's such like a mundane, you would think it's like a mundane or like not noteworthy experience, but she has a way of describing things that make you feel like it was a heart-stopping moment for her, and it was so scary. And even though she like wanted to keep the cat and loved the cat, it scared the rest of her family that a random stray cat was here. So here you have this element of her being an animal lover and ideological differences with her family, and a little bit of humor thrown in because it's an interesting experience. So you have all these things kind of thrown together, this little anecdote that tells you a bunch about how she grew up, and it's all packaged very neatly. And I think that's just an interesting example I wanted to throw in. But back to what we were saying. My one kind of gripe, I guess you could say, is that the book is told chronologically, like in stages, let's say. It's told like from her beginnings as a showgirl in Vegas at a very early age, earlier than was probably legal, to, you know, her rise to stardom. But within these time periods, she does go back and forth between years a lot. So while we might be in the Elvira period of her stardom, she'll flash from the beginning to closer to current day, back to the beginning, based on the anecdote she wants to tell. And it is utilitarian in a sense, it is useful, but it can also be a little bit confusing to the reader because it's told chronologically, but also not chronologically on a more micro sense, if that makes sense. You know, she might go from something that happened in 1994 to 2000 to 1998 to late 80s. All of these told one after another. And you kind of have to orient yourself as to, okay, what period of time are we talking about again? Like, it does kind of distract a little bit. But overall, I think the message is very clear that really the woman behind the Halloween facade, she's earned every bit of her acclaim as the mistress of dark, the queen of Halloween. She's earned that, and that's very clear in her life. And she's had very serendipitous moments, very, you know, the universe being in tune, and I guess you would call it luck, but I really don't like calling it that. Just the amount of experiences she's had with different celebrities and different places she's gone. She lived in Rome for a while and basically had to live paycheck to paycheck doing whatever odd jobs she could and odd acting jobs. And I just think that's incredibly scrappy and incredibly hungry of her. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, in the business, you have to be hungry and you have to go after certain things. And she definitely has that drive. The fact that she's still going strong in her branding in her 70s, I think, is just truly inspirational. And I would highly recommend this one. Yeah, but thank you guys for coming in with me on these ramblings. By the way, I got a mic, so it's all very good over here. I'm actually investing in different pieces of equipment. Hopefully the video quality is a little bit better today. And I hope it's just going to get better from here on out. Let me know what you guys think I should read next, or what videos you'd like to see next. I love making content for you all. Oh, one last thing before I go. Don't forget to subscribe. And you might like some other videos that are on my channel. Here is a picture, because I'm still working on getting cards to work at the end of my videos. But until that happens, here's a nice little picture. Hopefully you feel so inclined to check out my other videos. Thank you guys so much for your support. Bye!